Like I said, many people struggle with actually keeping the weight off. So like the problem is that people don't know how to lose weight, even though that's a problem too. Don't get me wrong, right? But a lot of people lose weight but gain it back. Lose weight, gain it back. Lose weight, gain it back. How do I know? Besides just observing people, I was stuck in that cycle for about almost 5 years. I started off only trying to lose 10, 15 pounds. What I just told you, I ended up I had to lose 86 pounds to get back to the weight I was trying to get to. Because I would lose a little bit of weight, gain a lot, lose a little bit, gain a lot, lose a little bit, gain a lot. And I seen other people go through the same cycle, right? And what I ended up discovering over time after seeing this pattern so much is, like I said, I call it the thermostat of fat. You know how a thermostat work, right? You in the crib. Like personally, I like the thermostat set to around 73, give or take a degree, depending if it's summertime or wintertime, but typically like around 73 degrees. Uh, so no matter how cold it is or how hot it is, right, the thermostat has it to where it's going to fight to stay at 73 degrees. If it's colder outside, the heat going to kick on. If it's cold, and if it's warm outside, the air conditioning going to kick on. So many of us have a weight, like instead of temperature, it's with our weight, right? So let's say, and the longer you've been at a particular weight, the stronger that thermostat setting is, in that, as far as like what your body wants you to weigh, and it's typically stronger as far as the floor, meaning let's say for you a set of 200 pounds, it's going to be hard to get under 200 pounds, as opposed to, it may be, it's always a range, right? So it may be in between 200 and 210 pounds. The 210 is going to be easier to go up with than it is for it to go down, until you learn how to build momentum, that's another conversation, because there's a art and science to building momentum with this, but that's another conversation. Okay, so when we understand where our thermostat, and how do you know where your thermostat is set? Well, what weight do you typically weigh? Right? What number are you really struggling to get underneath? And when you do get underneath it, it rebounds. Right? You end up putting weight back on, and sometimes it gets even higher. Right? Now, a lot of times, and some of you may have heard this before, but it's taught as if it's the end all be all. So some people will hear that and think, damn, well, I'm just meant to be overweight. I'm just meant to weigh 240 pounds because that's where my body is set. Just like you could change the thermostat. Like I like mine set at 73, right? My lady like it set at like 69. Sometimes we fight it. We could change the thermostat. Sometimes people around you can change the thermostat as far as the fat in the body is concerned. But you could change the thermostat. It doesn't have to be stuck there. And that's the key, right? And when you learn how to actually consciously take control over the thermostat of fat in your body, this is what allows you to actually sustain the progress that you make. So if you're trying to, because some people are trying to gain weight, right? So if you're trying to gain weight, and for those people, it's harder to go upward than downward, right? It's just most people struggle with being overweight, but some of us struggle with being underweight too. But when we learn how to adjust the actual thermostat, that allows us to sustain the progress we make. So I was able to adjust my thermostat, right? When I finally figured it out after 5 years, that's what happened. I adjusted my thermostat. So my thermostat, I mean, the floor was probably like only at 220, but I was going up and up and up, and I got all the way up to 270. All the way up to 270. And I was able to adjust my thermostat to allow me to get into the 205 to 215 range. And then I said, okay. And now at this point, I have a psychological barrier because I feel like putting a one back on the scale is crazy. That's why the floor was at 205. I needed some margin of error. I needed some cushion between getting that two off. It's like you just get so used to seeing your weight somewhere to you don't want to go too far. It feel like it's unreal. You feel like you don't deserve it. You feel like it's a fantasy. You feel like you breaking the rule. You feel like the universe is gonna blow up if you make it to a certain point, and you end up just self-sabotaging it and limiting yourself, right? So first you got to learn how to adjust the thermostat, right? And that deals with what? That deals with your physiology. Okay, that deals with your hormone. This is why I implement what's what I call nutrient hormone engineering. Okay, because it's the hormones that tell your body what to do, tell you how to feel, tell you how to think, and adjust the thermostats. Okay, nutrient hormone engineering. This is how you adjust the thermostat in your body. And then once you adjust the thermostat of your body, and since your psychology is probably already compromised, you aren't even thinking to set it low enough if you're trying to lose weight or high enough if you're trying to gain weight. So once you get to that level, now we have to deal with the psychology of it, and uh, that's a whole nother situation to deal with, which I won't go into for this video. So yeah, you don't want to be fighting your own hormones, fighting your own physiology. That's the losing battle. As you can see, you probably already been trying to fight it, wondering why you've been stuck. You don't know how to adjust your thermostat. Thermostat effect. This is a rule that we have to learn how to master. When I'm coaching, when I'm putting meal plans together for people, when we are, especially for those who I'm coaching, where we go even more in detail with your meal plan, because the closer I work with you, the more precise I can get to allow the nutrients to do their things with your hormones, so we can adjust your the thermostat effect, so we could properly follow that rule. That's what it's about. And many of y'all, some of you didn't even know that this was a thing. Some of y'all got the half-baked truth of this and didn't know that it was possible to actually adjust it. And that's why you've been stuck. I actually have a video, well, not yet, but by the time y'all watch this, I have an actual video going over all of the rules, making sure y'all are aware of all the rules and that y'all actually understand all the rules so you don't have to be stuck unnecessarily. Yeah, and I walk you through how to deal with every rule, because I can guarantee you, if you're struggling as far as weight is concerned and chronic health conditions like blood pressure and diabetes and cholesterol and stuff, if you're dealing with that, it's because you're violating one of these rules, or you don't know about one of these rules, or you're misunderstanding one of these rules. If you want the full video training on that, if you want to figure out what your situation is and how to actually adjust your thermostat, and get on a call with me so we can walk through your specific situation, message me. Okay, message me the word thermostat or comment thermostat, and then reach out to me, or I'll reach out to you if you comment the word thermostat on this post, and we can walk through your particular situation and get your thermostat adjusted and get you from being stuck. All right, I know this helps somebody out there. Check out the next one. Peace.